It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. And it's all up next.
Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past always said. The key to any ball game. Can you rush theirs and protect yours? Well, in this case, both of these teams get after the quarterbacks. I'm watching the pass rush.
Anders Carlson has this teed up, ready to get started. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. First look at the Cowboys offense as Dak Prescott gets ready to guide them.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Prescott. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
And at the start of Jordan Love's NFL career, he had one of the best seats in the stadium watching Aaron Rodgers work. But now he's looking for more than that. Rocket arm, big play potential. And he wants to show this organization that he's capable of being a dependable starter for the foreseeable future.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10. At the 31-yard line. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Off the option, here's Jacobs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
2nd and 10. Play fake. Here's Love. And that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
On 3rd down, Love. Now this aired out deep for Reed. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
On 4th down, the Packers called on Daniel Whelan to punt. Cavante Turpin deep for the Cowboys. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Left side to Lamb. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
On is the punter, Brian Anger, to kick this one away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Packers offense here coming back out for their 2nd drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it.
You remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They got the fumble recovery. Now here's Love to pass. That's taken in, Dontavian Wicks. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case,
touchdown! Romeo Doubs, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Packers are on the board first here this afternoon. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Anders Carlson now for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. Well, now how about this return? He's to midfield. Sheds off the tackle. Still going past the 30. And it'll be an excellent return as he's all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, he gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing, Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better out there.
And he will take it in for the Cowboys score. Ezekiel Elliott, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Well, I tell you, Ezekiel Elliott, he is just built like a bowling ball, and he powered his way into the end zone there.
I love that description of him because when you think about Zeke, you think about lower body strength and those legs churning and creating extra yardage.
Brandon Aubrey now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Nixon now from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. First down, going to the air with Love. He has it complete to Christian Watson. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after one. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Love, they go play action now. And complete once again to Watson. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Kind of a dangerous throw there. He's off balance when he gets rid of it. But this is all about a quarterback knowing what he can get away with. And that time, it turns into a completion and a healthy gain as well.
On 1st and 10, Love. He finds his man complete. That's Reed. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Now a throw in the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
So many times we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On second down, Jacobs. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Now Love. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. This will wind up a loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
Carlson back out there now to send this one away. Kevontae Turpin now to return. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He'll get this out right here to Elliott. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up second down.
Our defense is worried that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second down, Prescott. And this one quickly to Lamb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A first down carry by Elliott. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. They go to Elliott again. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Prescott from the gun on third. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best.
Exactly.
Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
So no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Short throw to Musgrave. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. 3rd and 2. Love with it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, Love. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Love now. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's Daniel Whelan now. And this will be taken at the 13. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Cowboy offense is going to head out now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The return is Reed. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Packer offense heading back for one final first half drive. And with decent starting field position, they're maybe only a couple completions away from field goal range. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Working out of the gun. Love. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, Might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 to score as we resume action on EA Sports. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Packer offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Love looking to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on here to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Now Prescott. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Play action this time with Love. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Love. To the left side, there's the tight end Musgrave. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They get 6. That'll leave him with 3rd and 4.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 6.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
44 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Love's throw finds its target, Dobbs.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the Cowboys' 44-yard line.
To throw now. Here's Love.
He gets that one complete to Wicks.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Throw left side complete. That's Reed. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Love, they go play action now. Throw caught by Musgrave. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. So the scoring dried up here in the third. Nothing that quarter for either side. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. To the air again. Love. His throw incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
The Packers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Love. Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs. And he'll be stopped short of the first down right around the 18-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And his kick here is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7.
So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
Looking for the out route here, and he's got Cooks. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down at a yard. Play fake. Here's Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28. That one goes for 24 yards.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
To throw is Prescott. And that one too wide and incomplete.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. And again, it's Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Prescott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the 4th quarter. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To pass, here's Jordan Love. That's complete to Wicks. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing, Love. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 3rd down, Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he's fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That is caught, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Going back to Love. That's taken in by Watson. And he's brought down.
This is 1st and 10. Now Love.
He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
They will run the draw with Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here's 1st down. Love looking to throw it. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to be out of bounds to stop the clock. And they continue to move a little bit closer toward that potential game-winning field goal. Second and 6 coming up. Counter play with Jacobs. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. Love. He's got his target. That's complete.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Jacobs going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. Here now, 2nd and goal. One more time with Jacobs. And this time he is in. Yes. Josh Jacobs taking it in from a yard out. And the Packers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead.
And this is the time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with a touchdown run to take the lead.
Here's Love. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So Dak and the Cowboys down 21-14. A little over a minute to go. They need a touchdown and the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Now Prescott. He's got Elliott. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. Like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Here's Dak. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Well, it took us until the final play, Charles, to officially decide a winner. Although on that last play they were so backed up, it would have taken a miracle, and they couldn't get that miracle done.
Well, I like how you stayed with it because we both knew that this had to go down to the last play, and neither side was going to exhale until that play concluded because we've seen the improbable before. A couple of laterals, maybe some poor defense on the back end. They might have gone all the way to the end zone. In this case, though, it didn't happen. Perhaps next time.